Hello, welcome. Today we got a VOD review on Lijiang Tower. It's a diamond level match. Looks like we got a Zen player. I've never seen this video before, so I'll be commenting in real time. So let's get into it. So it looks like we got a 2-2-2, fairly divey comp. The Mercy's kind of a weird pick here. I'd prefer her to play like Lucio or Anna, but I think it can work. So let's get into it. But before we do, let's talk about kind of how the Zen player should play this. This is actually a really hard map as Zenyatta, and I say that as a Zenyatta main. There's not a lot of spaces where you can actually work with, and there's a lot of spaces that you can get booped really easily by Lucios and Pharahs. So this is actually one of the few maps where, because I play on the Chinese server, so I can't communicate with my teammates very well, and I kind of just choose not to because of the miscommunication that can arise. So my way of playing on the Chinese server, I try to communicate as little as possible, but this is one of the few maps where I will actually ask players to go the direction not towards the bridge. I'll ask them to go the other way because as Zenyatta, like, I'm so scared to go on that bridge. So let's see what happens. Yeah, this is Garden. Okay, so I'd like him to go left because going right is pretty dangerous here.
Energy flows through me.
All right, well. There's the Pharah. Okay, good. So he watched for the boop and he stepped back, so that was great. And on that note, I think a better Pharah player would have waited a bit longer to use the boop, and then just kind of, you know, her E, it has a lot of pressure in this situation, so she kind of messed up by using it so early, in my opinion. But she was probably just looking for like a cheesy kill, so whatever. Okay, so you're being a little bit aggressive. I prefer you. Okay, so here Lucio's coming at you. So I would be letting this Winston get a little bit further ahead, and then I would go. So I don't like your positioning already. It's a little bit too aggressive. That was really aggressive. Actually, did you get a bubble there? That's weird. It looks like. Did the Lucio just not boop you? Okay, so in my opinion, you got a little bit lucky here. I'm not quite sure what happened, but all right, we'll let that slide. Oh man, okay, so just right off the bat, your Zenyatta is like super hyper aggressive, and I generally like really aggressive play. On the Chinese servers, people play pretty aggressively, but I think that you need to be behind your Winston. Yeah, so. I wouldn't be surprised if you just died here to someone or something.
Junkrat's look.
I understand.
What? I fell off the map? How? Don't jump that fuck.
Zarya low.
There is disquiet in your
Soldier
soul.
76 reporting for duty.
Mercy.
Okay, so I'm gonna let this run a little bit. Actually, let's see if you guys actually win this. Nice, very good shooting.
Get the Mercy.
I claim this objective.
It's pretty good. Okay. Oh, okay. So overall, again, just your positioning, you're playing as if you were like a tank, like a Zarya or something. Actually, that's probably exactly what it feels like. It feels like you're playing like Zarya specifically. Like you're just kind of like in the middle of everything. And you'll notice kind of during that clip, you were doing a lot of 360s to like shoot at people. You were looking up and to your left and to your right and behind you and in front of you. That's exactly how you don't want to play Zenyatta. You want to have like a vantage point where you're kind of behind your team and you can see as much as possible on one screen and then decide how you discord and how you shoot. So yeah, I'm surprised you didn't die earlier. It seems like your team is actually just better than the opponents. So yeah, just right off the bat, I need you to be less aggressive in your positioning. I just want to point something out. Right here, this is something that I like. A lot of Zenyatta players don't do this enough, is charging up right clicks when they're coming around corners. So I want to commend you on doing this. This is exactly, that's one of the key things to being a good Zenyatta player, is charging up right clicks when you're going around corners and expecting people to be there. So kudos to you on that.
There is chaos within you.
Fire low on the point.
So again, just you're way too far forward. So actually, I'm okay with this ultimate. So again, you're having to do the situation where you have to do a lot of 360s to see kind of where your opponents are and where your teammates are. This actually feels like a really sloppy game. I'm kind of surprised at kind of the way both teams are playing. Kind of feels a little bit, I guess, just really sloppy. Like, I would expect for this kind of match for people to be a little bit more coordinated. So, yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to think of other things I can ask you to work on. So number one thing by far is your positioning. It's actually it's actually really bad. Your use of discords and harmony seems to be on point. You do a pretty good job of keeping it on people. So that's pretty good. Your right clicks, I like that. See, actually, that's probably the thing I'm a fan of most right now is your use of right clicks. Good. You're respecting the trap. Excellent. You're doing this dance. I love it. This is good. This is more how I would like for you to play Zenyatta. And actually, this is the route I wanted you to take from the beginning. There's a lot. Zenyatta is really powerful around corners. Good. Go for the Lucio. But respect the boop. Respect the boop. Respect the boop. Oh, you did not respect the boop. So right here. Oh, oops, sorry. Let's try that again. Like right there. Right there. You should have started to go back, and you'd be safe. So at this point, at this point, you had an opportunity to actually go back. And actually, for that matter, let's break this down a little bit more. So, let's see, you see he's going right there. No, maybe a little bit more. Right there. You probably could have let your your right click go. Maybe like right there. Yeah, that would have been perfect. And then backed off, like, you know, as soon as your orbs went out. But you stay a little bit too long and you get booped. Yeah. So actually, yeah. So just overall, I'm a fan of your discording. I think your harmonies, like for diamond level, I feel like you're on point. Your right clicks, I would actually say your right clicks are maybe even like a higher level, like maybe closer to master, because I feel like I see tons of Zenyatas who just do not use the right clicks enough. Like if you ever see me play Zenyatta, it's just like I'm constantly doing right clicks, and you'll see me just throw a bunch of right clicks into a wall. Just because like I had nobody to shoot it to, but like I'm always getting ready for that moment to shoot people, to win that battle like right away, because I always want to win a fight as soon as I possibly can. And you might say, oh, okay, well, you're wasting your ammo by doing that. But if anyone were to ever turn that corner and I right click them, then it would probably only take a few more shots to finish them off, if that. So use those right clicks, everybody. Cool. So yeah, number one thing for you is positioning. It's actually, I would say your position is at like a gold level, if anything. So your aim and your ability usage is probably carrying you to diamond. So if you can work on your positioning, oh, actually right there. So I'm glad so like right here, similar to earlier, you weren't respecting the Winston, but then like right here, I think you recognize that you were out of position, and then you go back to make sure he can't hit you off the ledge. But in my opinion, you reacted a little bit too slowly. If he had seen you there, he probably could have still pushed you off the ledge. So you weren't punished for that mistake.
Junkrat's such a fuck hero, man. Like, not even aiming for me.
That's exactly how you play Junkie.
Oh no, what was that for? That was
exactly how you play Junkie.
a really bad ultimate.
Nice.
And it looks like you got stuck on the wall here. Oh no.
Nice.
It looks like you were trying to help this, I think that was Soldier, but you got stuck on the wall, so obviously that's a mechanical misplay.
Are you crying? You're playing Teresa. That's like Junkrat is the exact counter for Teresa.
Lucio on the point.
Get the mercy. You gotta get the mercy. Okay. So, like right here, in this entire engagement. Oops, sorry. Let's see. Okay. No, it's not quite the angle I want.
Junkrat is the exact counter for Teresa.
Lucio.
I can't quite find the angle, but basically what I would like, this entire engagement, I want you to be basically behind where you are, like towards your side, close to that house. That's like behind the point. Actually, you know what? No, let's do it like this. I have a better way. Oh darn! No, I can't. Maybe this one. Okay. So where I would like you for this entire engagement, when you're on the point, I want you over here, like towards that house. It's a pretty good vantage point to discord and do damage and harmonies, whatever. And then when the fight goes south, that's when you can jump in and go for a tranquility. So obviously that tranquility was a really bad tranquility. I don't even think you needed to bust it that early. And again, positioning. You're just like, you're way too close to your team. You need to be like, I like to play like when possible, max distance of discord and harmony, which is 40 meters. Right now you're just, again, you're playing like as if you were like a Zarya or something. So I don't think I have too much more left to say. So we'll just kind of start the next round.
Do this.
And we'll let this play out. So yeah, so it seems like your aim and your ability usage is pretty good. That I think you're 1 for 2 on the tranquilities, because I think you had another one that was okay. Good use of right clicks. Yeah, actually, I don't have much more to say. I think your biggest pain point right now. Ooh, flanker. Okay, cool. Let's talk about this. Oh, okay, good. So we have something new to talk about. Great. Let's see if we can turn the sound back on. Actually, let's go a little bit sooner. Let's go here. So I want to talk about flankers, handling flankers as Zenyatta. So we'll see if we can get a good clip to talk about that.
They have a Reaper. Oh, we have a Reaper. They're going left side.
Bask in the shadow of doubt.
Okay, right there we heard a tracer. Let's see.
Bask in the shadow of doubt.
Right there. Okay, so right there, if you hear the video again, you can see that there's a tracer to your right. So as Zenyatta, 100%, if there's ever one flanker, so basically like Genji or Tracer, if it's ever a 1v1 with one of those two, you can always win that fight if you are as equally skilled as that player. The key, though, is that you never let them catch you by surprise. So what I mean is, first of all, you have to know that they have a Tracer or Genji, so you always want to be looking out for them as Zenyatta. And if you ever do, they are almost always your discord priority. The reason being that discord will slow them down. They'll have to wait behind walls, they're going to have to wait, and that's less time that they're doing their job. And yes, that means that you don't have discord for someone, on the enemy team who's taking damage, but if you can take the flanker out of the fight, that is always, always worth it. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, well, aside from your positioning, it's this. So always discord flankers, and if they don't respect the discord and they just run at you anyways, you can always win that fight. So right now she catches you off guard, and you're already at 104 health. Actually, a better Tracer player, she might have just killed you outright, because a really good Tracer player can get you like low enough to where she with one clip, and then she just walks up to you and melees you. And in fact, I think one clip can actually kill you as Tracer, but it depends on how far she is from you. So anyways, all I'm trying to say is a really good a Tracer player would have killed you by now, or at least had you in kill range. So we'll see how this works out.
And a hop.
Yeah, okay. So I feel like a lot of players, they think that, flankers, they just kill Zenyatta and like that's it. But that is absolutely not the case. It is actually, in my opinion, it's your job to be killing flankers. If they're sending like more than one at you though, like Genji and Tracer, or maybe Tracer and Winston, okay, that's fine. But with proper positioning, you're gonna absorb so much pressure that even if you die, you should at least be, like I said, absorbing enough pressure to where your teammates can win a battle somewhere else on the fight. Or sorry, win a fight somewhere else on the battle. So as Zenyatta, I want you to be constantly discording flankers and making sure you win those 1v1s. Or at the very least, just do a dance with them so that they aren't nearly as effective. Like if you can, maybe like you guys will just be killing each other constantly. And in my opinion, that's great. Like if you can take out the flanker and they take out you as the DPS, that is an okay trade as Zen. Obviously you want to just win that fight, but it's still, better than just dying and then, they get to do whatever they want afterwards. Okay, so I think I'm ready to wrap it up. That was a good right click. So I want to highlight your strengths. That's your right clicks. That's probably the thing I like the most about your play. Your use of discord and harmony seems to be on point. Your tranquilities so far, I think you were 1 for 2. It looked like you panic, so try not to panic when you have tranquility. And like I said earlier, with proper positioning, you'll have less opportunities to panic and use it. So I think your tranquilities will be just better overall. And like when your team starts dying in front of you, then you can run towards them and use tranquility. Cool. So, and your weak points, definitely your positioning, 100% work on that. And then second, work on discording flankers and handling them. Okay, cool. I hope this video was helpful.